All right, first up this morning, some people believe the idea of healthy and dessert is an oxymoron.
Yeah, but our next guest says your sweet tooth doesn't need to take a back seat when you're trying to eat healthier. Viall is a certified holistic nutritionist and lifestyle coach, and she's brought some simple dishes to prove it. In fact, is it true everything here you didn't even have to bake?
Nothing. Never had to turn on the stove or oven.
And they're all sweet.
It's awesome.
And they're all sweet. Some, I mean, and sweetened with more natural things. That's the problem. I think when we think we can't have desserts, well, a lot of the desserts we choose are refined sugars, refined grains, gluten, dairy. I mean, a lot of additives, a lot of coloring agents. Those will make you feel bad and they will set you off track. You know, but it doesn't have to be that way. Simple and easy whole ingredients you can whip up some really great desserts.
Well, and I think people are starting to get used to some of these words that you use, the agave nectars, the coconut milks and stuff. So
and all the other avocado and stuff.
Raw nuts,
I kind of have a couple of things here, like a lot of desserts that what your dessert should kind of be made out of. And we always talk about fat, fiber, and protein. The same thing goes with your dessert. Because if it's just sugar, it's going to spike your blood sugar and your insulin, and that's going to set you up for a sugar crash later on the day.
So you're a fan of natural sweeteners like raw honey, grade B maple syrup, dates, coconut, palm sugar, stevia, even. Do you like that as well?
Yeah, that's a natural sweetener too. So all of those, I mean, they're natural. They're a source of natural. They're not refined. You know,
why grade B maple syrup?
It's not refined. You know, grade A is more refined, and even if you see grade B, it's a little bit more liquidy.
It's thinner in consistency.
But it also still has some minerals intact.
Are you a fan of agave nectar?
Not the biggest fan.
Really? I wonder, you know, I think I've heard you say it before, and I wonder because you see it on a lot of the health shows out there. You know, they're always using it on cooking shows or using it on Dr. Oz. And so sometimes I didn't know because I've heard mixed reviews in the media about it too.
Well, there's a lot of studies, obviously, but it's because it does a lot of, stresses out your liver a lot because it is so high in fructose. So the idea is, you know, we try to find the simple thing that everyone's like, oh, we can overdo it with agave now. It's like, no, you really need to make sure that everything's kind of backed up with some other whole food sources so that your blood sugar isn't affected.
A lot of desserts have a lot of fat in it. You're a fan of healthy fats. So those are things like what? Coconut oil?
Coconut oil, shredded coconut, raw nuts and seeds. Those are always going to have some nice healthy fat. You can even use avocado in dessert recipes. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen, a lot of people will whip up a pudding and they'll have avocado in it for like the thickness. Great source of healthy fat too. Your body actually will use that for energy versus storing it.
And there are a lot of unsweetened nut butters too, right?
Yep, and I'm a big fan of unsweetened, I should say that. So in regards of nut butters, you should only have the nut, like peanuts or almonds. Nut only, none of those additives.
All right, let's go through the 3 recipes then that you brought today.
I think I've tasted this before,
You have. This
right?
is actually the reason that this segment is going on right now, because I brought this in a separate one, and everyone loved them. So all it is 3 ingredients. It's a medjool date. You just slice it open, pit it.
Do you get those in a bag, or
you can get them in bag or bulk? They'll be in the bulk aisle too, but they do come in packages. You can get these honestly anywhere.
And
you
what
just
kind
probably
again
never
are they?
asked. Medjool, so M-E-D-J-O-O-L.
Okay.
Unsweetened almond butter, and you just slice it open, stuff it, and then you cover it with raw cacao nibs. So that's chocolate that's unsweetened, the most raw.
Cocoa.
Well, it is actually cacao. It is actually. Don't let her fool you.
If you're a holistic nutritionist,
are they different, or is it just tomato?
No, it's not. This is cocoa. This is like chocolate in its most rare form. This is the bean just like smashed up.
That's cacao.
So it's a difference between a coffee bean and coffee.
I mean, I'm not sure about that. Oh. You might be. I mean, I'm just telling you what it's called.
We like to beat up on our guests, as you can tell.
She can handle it.
Yes, she can.
Cookie, and you're good at that.
Yeah, she's a college athlete, too.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes me a smart one.
That makes you tough. That makes you tough. All right, what's the next one then?
The next one, these are raw cheesecake. So dairy-free, grain-free, all just natural whole ingredients.
How do you make it?
So you can use almond meal. So this you can find at like Trader Joe's or pretty much anywhere. Or you could use just raw almonds. And you add just coconut oil, Himalayan sea salt, and some grade B maple syrup. I use like these little cute tins to like make the mold. So this is your crust now.
Okay.
And then the cheesecake filling is just soaked cashews, grade B maple syrup, lemon, and sea salt. Yeah, so there's some there for you. If you don't have little tins, you can just use, little baker's
Okay, and then you're going to go with the cacao again?
I'm going to sprinkle it with the cacao. You could though top it with like strawberries or raspberries, however you prefer your cheesecake.
Okay. I prefer my cheesecake New York style.
Well, I'll figure that one out
Should
for
we
you.
taste this?
Yes, please do.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
so then
okay.
you pop them in the freezer or the fridge, you know, because they are made with like whole fats. So they need to stay like adhered.
It's really good. It doesn't taste like cheesecake though.
Well, okay, Tiff. I mean, let's be optimistic.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, this is
delicious.
good if somebody has like a dairy intolerance, a gluten intolerance, and cheesecake is like probably the worst thing that you can possibly have. So.
What's the
really
last
good
thing,
though,
real quick, because we're running out of time?
These are dark chocolate brownie bites. So really rich dark chocolate. It's just made again with almonds. You can make it with any kind of nut. Cocoa powder, a little bit of raw honey or grapey maple syrup, and a little bit of sea salt. You just roll it up and you toss it into cocoa powder, and again, keep it in the fridge. So these are easy and satisfying, you know. So you don't have to think like I can't have dessert. These are
I think it's more satisfying.
Right.
Honestly, you can take half of that little brownie bite and you'd be set because it's such a rich.
Right. And it's going to keep you satisfied. It's going to keep your blood sugar stable. You're not going to be like continuously reaching into the candy jar. So
where can people find these recipes for no-bake healthy desserts?
Right on my website.
Okay. So here it is for everybody out there. It's mariaviall.com and then /no-bake desserts, no bake desserts. Good stuff.
I love the coconut flavor in there too.
Yeah,
really
it's nice and subtle.
Yeah, come back anytime. We'll give you a hard time.
Oh, absolutely. I'll make sure I'll pack my cacao.
Yes, bring it. Love it. Thanks, Maria. Great to see you on today's